Hi Shiva.
Hi, sir.
So, what is your demo today?
So today we are going to discuss about forecasting a car price value by using linear regression ML models.
This is your first ML model demo, right? Using algorithms.
Yes, sir. Yes. First.
Okay, please.
Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the solution demo about forecasting a car price model value by using linear regression ML model. So we'll go agenda first. What are the uh, objectives and topics involved? So in this agenda, we are going to discuss about defining the problem and we'll set the objective initially. Then after that, we are going to data preparation. We are going to gather and the preparation of the data for the ML problem of car price model. Then we are going to see data pre-processing and cleaning activities and as well as data visualization also. Then after that, we are going to do some future engineering and selection of the process for this car price prediction model. And after that, we are going to see the model selection and the training for this linear regression model. So once we completed the model selection and the training of the ML model, we are going to evaluate of that model, linear regression model for car price prediction. Then after that, we are going to see how the model deployment and integration activities are involved. Then after also we are going to see like how the model monitoring and maintenance is involved in the whole process by following the ethics and the regulatory compliance of the AI. And finally, we are going to see how the we need to design the user interface user friendly for the ML applications for the front end by accessing the users easily. So this is the whole agenda today we are discussing about. So the first one is first we need to define the problem and set the objective. So here we are discussing about car price uh, prediction model. So here first we need to understanding the business need of the for the and which is involved the stakeholders also. So who will benefit the who will benefit from this model and also what kind of the model predictions are practical and reusable in real world scenario for this car price prediction model. And also we need to identify what are the key success matrices that will measure our model performance. So these are all the things we need to discuss in this first step. Then the car buyers. So here these car buyers, they're going to benefit when they want to set the market price before making any purchase of the car model. And also car dealers also will get benefit by giving the competitive prices for the overall selling cars. And also the other institutions like banks and insurance companies, they are also will predict these car values by giving the loans and insurance for that cars. So this is about the definition of the problem, and also we need to set the some objectives before going to develop the model. So once we have discussed and finally we decided the metrics and everything in the first step, then we are going to do the data preparation process. So here the object is basically the data preparation is it is a process of collecting the data, cleaning the data, and transforming and organizing in a data format in a like organized way before using for machine learning model. So this data preparation is mainly used to make ensure that the data set is make a reliable and accurate, and it will be ready for the training of the model. So this data preparation is a very important step before going to do for implementing in the machine learning model. So this is the data. We are collecting the raw data sources for using various data sources like CSV format, APIs, and some databases, MySQL databases. So after that, once we collected the data collection, we are going to do data cleaning. Then after that, we are going to do some data transformation on the data cleaning. After that, finally, we are going to do some data organization process so that it will be ready for the machine learning model by cleaning and a well-structured data. So why is data preparation is important? So without data preparation, so we can't handle the model predict accurately. So for that, these are the points which will impact the model by taking the data preparation correct way. So improve the model accuracy. So the machine learning model is only as good as the data is trained on. So if we have poor quality data, it will predict poor predictions only. And we need to remove the errors and inconsistencies as well, so that the data should be a clean and well structured manner. And also we need to handle different data formats by taking the data from multiple sources like CSV file, APIs, and databases, etc. So it should be converted into a consistent format before using the for ML model. And also we are using the, it will prevent the overfitting and underfitting also by taking the clean data. If you are taking irrelevant data, so that will spoil the model. So for that, we need to take the clean and do clean data. So after once we have collected the data, now we are going to do data pre-processing and cleaning on the collection data. So it will give better model accuracy by doing this cleaning data. So this will reduce the noise and improve the prediction of the model. And also we need to fix any missing values or incorrect values in the data set. So this will data pre-processing will eliminate that all missing and negative values or any unrealistic values. Make sure it will be the reliability of the data. And also it will maintain the consistency by taking the different formats of the data. So for example, here car price prediction, we are taking the kilometers and miles. So different formats of the data must be unified. So here we have designed, these are the tasks involved in the data pre-processing step. So first we are going to import all necessary libraries to do this process for ML model. After that, we have collected data preparation. So here we are loading this CSV file into the pandas data frame. Then third one, we are checking any missing values are available in the data set, and also it will handle the missing values once it identify the missing values in the data set. And also it will going to check and handle the negative values also in the data set. So once it has done the missing values and handle the negative values, and it will go and verify the price reasonability of those of the car models in between 2018 and 24, whether any price is unrealistic values are generated. Then it will handle any selling price is greater than present price. This is also unrealistic condition where the selling price should not more than the present price. So this task, this data pre-processing will do all these tasks, and finally it will validate once again to confirm the data set is like a pre-processed and clean data. Finally, it will save the data set in the one updated CSV format for the next purpose, modeling purpose. After that, we are going to see the data visualization according to the our clean data. So it will, by following this data visualization process, we can able to understand the patterns, trends, and the relationship between in the features and the data set. So that, so we already identified some missing values, outliers, and correlations. So before modeling the training. So these are the tasks involved in the data visualization process. So it will show what are the basic data understanding and exploration of the data set. Then how many values are unique values, and it will show the data. Then the distribution analysis also by using the histogram plots for numeric features of the car price prediction model of the data. Then it will also show the relationship analysis by using the scatter plots and box plots. So it will show any outliers are present in our current data set. And also it will show the correlation analysis in between the futures by following these heat map functions for numerical features. And also it will give the trend analysis, how the yearly price market is going on. So all these data visualization techniques are comes under this data visualization step. So once we have identified and done the visualization process, now we are going to with the future engineering process. So we need to create some meaningful features so that will make a better prediction of the model. So before that, we need to do some future engineering and our data set. So we need to remove unnecessary features so that will not make any good impact to predict our model. And also we need to do some standardization process and normalization. So this kind of features will make the model very impact. So for that, these are the tasks we have done for this feature engineering task. So first we need to load the data set of the processed data. Then we need to do encoding the categorical features because the model will understand only the numeric values. So for that, we need to do some encoding of the categorical features. Then we need to drop any unnecessary columns that are not going to impact the model. So that we need to analyze, we need to drop that particular columns. Then we are going to create new features. So that will make an impact of the model. So for that, and also we need to drop some redundant columns that are collinearity values that we need to redundant. And finally, we need to save the processed data for future engineering. And for future selection, we need to do some, we have already created future values. So for that, we need to do some correlation again to analyze the data in between the futures and the target variable. And also we need to do some generation of the correlation heat map. So it will analyze and it will give the what are the futures will exactly impact the target price variable. Then it will select under the future selection exactly, and that finally that output CSV file will be saved in the future selected dataset file. Once we have selected features that will impact our model, now we are going to do the model selection and training. So our data is ready to train the model. So now we are going to select the machine learning model for predicting car prices. So here we have taken the linear regression model. So for that, first we need to train the data. Then after we are going to do some evaluation process. So for that, these are the tasks involved in the model selection and training. So first we need to do whatever the processed data, future selected data set. Then after that, we are going to load original data set that containing the target variable. Then we need to merge these two values for the future selected data. Then after that, we are going to validate the successful merging. And after that, we are going to separate the future as the x values and the target variable as the y. Then after that, we are going to perform training test split of the data of our data. 80% of data is for training and the remaining 20% of the data is for testing purpose to test the model once we train the model. So finally, we are going to save the training and the testing of the data according to 80% of the training model and 20% of the testing model in the CSV files. Once we have done, once we have trained the model, then here we are going to evaluate of the model by measuring how accurate the model predictions will do. So these are the tasks involved in the evaluation of the model. So we need to create the training features and the target variable. This is for training the model. So we need to initialize the linear regression model. And after that, we are going to train the model and training data. Then finally, the trained model will be saved on the by using the job lib module. After that, we are going to evaluate the model. So by reading the test data, we are going to evaluate our linear regression model by loading the pre-trained model, and also it will calculate the performance metrics, mean squared error and R square value. Then it will finally it will give the values by evaluating the model properly by taking the test model data. Once we evaluated the model, so once we have done and correctly identify the metrics, after that we are going to deploy the model and integration. So this will deploy the model will comes this process. So we are going to create some APIs interface to develop for user access. Then also we need to make sure the scalability that should be handle the requests, and also we need to ensure the reliability and the security also while deploying the model in the Azure or AWS cloud. Once we have done the deployment activity, then we are going to do some monitoring and as well as maintaining process of the model, whether the model will predict the correctly or it will show some drift values integration. So we need to continuously track how the model will be performing well with time. Then we need to also identify if any issues like prediction errors or outdated patterns while predicting the model. We need to also track that issues, and we need to continuously improve the model over time by retraining with updated data. Whatever the new data is coming, we need to continuously improve our linear regression model with over time. So by following this all the process, we need to also follow the ethics and regulatory compliance of AI. So make sure our model is fair and unbiased, and it doesn't contain any discriminate content by training and evaluating the model process throughout the process. By following the legal and industry standards of the this regulatory compliance, so it will protect the user privacy and the data security for further uses. So we need to follow the AI ethics and compliance activities. So finally, we are going to design some user interface for the users for this ML kind of applications. So it will provide the user insights to the customers. They will give the input data. Then this will process the input data and it will generate the predictions based on the processed data. Then it will give the real-time predictions to the customer by making ensure that it will give a user-friendly dashboards, and they will easily understand these reports, and they will take the decision based on this interface for the ML application model. Now I will show the what are the discussed activities. Now I will show in the Excel sheet how we develop and design and for this ML model. So as we discussed in the PPT, so these are the activities I have discussed it, like defining the problem and set the objective. So here the roles involved in the step one is the business analyst and product manager and the stakeholders are involved in this process to discuss about understanding the business need and identifying the who will use the model and what they who will get the benefit from this model and what are the metrics we need to measure while develop the model. All those activities will discuss under the step one. So once they have defined and everything is fine, they are going to do for step two, data preparation. So basically here in the data preparation, the data engineers will come into the place for the step
Shiva,
two.
Shiva, one moment, one moment. Do you have the roles documented somewhere in the document? First, you please explain those roles before explaining these activities. So let the audience also understand the role activities.
So I didn't copy that role activities.
Do you have that prompt in your Copilot screen? What you did or ChatGPT? Just pull that and explain it. But in next demo, the original demo, you please bring that into Excel sheet. Yeah, this is enough. You start explaining first these things, then map the activities. Then people can understand what is it this role can do
Yes.
for that activity. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So here the detailed roles and responsibilities while designing and developing any ML model. So the first one we discussed is step one for defining the problem and set the objective. So here the business analyst and product manager and the stakeholders will involve in this step. So they are work with stakeholders to define the business problem before developing any ML model. So they will identify if a machine learning is the right solution or not. So they will discuss all those things and they will also document the use case and success criteria and what are the expected output also. They will define everything in the step one. So after that, for data preparation, so the data engineer will involve in this process. So the responsibilities for data engineer is to collect the data and the cleaning the data and the processing the raw data for by collecting various CSV formats, APIs, and MySQL databases. So they are going to design and maintain the data pipelines like a ETL process they are followed, and finally they make ensure the data should be stored efficiently for the ML training model. So after that, the data scientist will come into the place. So the responsibilities for data scientist. So he will explore the data and pre-process the data and he will analyze the data. Then he will do some feature engineering for this data to make find the meaningful features that will make an impact for our model. Then he will train the validate and do some fine tuning of the ML models also in the for data scientist. So after that, for the data pre-processing and cleaning, the data scientist will do this process. And the data visualization also, the data scientist will do all the analysis of the data and he will make the find some insightful features also for like a feature engineering and selection also. He will find some meaningful features and that will make an impact our model. Then for model selection and training, the machine learning engineer and the data scientist, both roles are involved. They will in here machine learning engineer, the responsibilities is they need to optimize and deploy the trained models. So they will analyze the feature engineering and they will optimize the data and deploy the trained models. So by implementing this scalable and efficient inference pipelines, and also they will work on the model performance tuning once they deploy the training model. And after that, DevOps engineer will come into the place. So he will implement the CI/CD pipelines for different kind of ML models. Then he will also do some automation by following the infrastructure provisioning, either Terraform or cloud formation as per the business needs, and make ensure he will do this some scalability and the security policies also while for deploying the ML models into different activities.
One moment, Shiva. You need to add ML ops engineer role also in these things. Okay, ML ops engineer role is totally different from these roles. Okay, you include that also in the roles, and here you have a maintenance activity in the bottom. If you see the Excel sheet, go there in the bottom. Somewhere the ML ops engineer role will come there.
Yes, a model deployment and integration.
It is there, right? So you describe the role activities also for ML ops engineer. It is not
Okay.
equivalent of ML engineer. It is ops only. Okay. So like
Mhm.
L1, L2 people are there in support. How they are the same role. It is going to be played by the ML ops engineer. So you need to include that role activities also in your roles list. Okay. Yeah. Please continue.
So DevOps engineer will implement all the CI/CD pipelines for different ML models. And also he will automate the entire process by following the infrastructure provisioning, either Terraform or cloud formation. Then he will also make ensure the infrastructure should be a scalable and security while deploying the ML models into the cloud. Then after that, the AI/ML quality engineers will come into the place. They will test the model performance against some test cases, unit test cases. They will validate the model by following the some robustness and fairness techniques. And finally, they will make ensure by following all the AI governance and compliance regulatory activities of the ML model. So they will test and evaluate that. And after that, cloud engineers will come into the place. So they will manage the cloud infrastructure for these ML kind of models. They will migrate, they will do some migration and optimization, cost and performance of the cloud ML workloads by using the Azure ML and AWS SageMaker and for GCP Vertex AI services. After that, ML ops engineer will automate all the ML pipelines by following the process, and he will implement the monitoring and alerting systems for this ML or pipelines. So he will maintain the model versioning and all those things will comes into the ML ops engineer. AI ethics specialist. So this is also one of the role by ensuring that all the AI models will follow the ethical guidelines and regulatory activities. So he will audit all the models for like kind of bias and fairness, whether this follow or not for the ML models. So he will work with legal teams for regulatory compliance of the ML models. So this is a summary of table for roles and responsibilities. The same thing
You
here
can
we
copy
discuss.
that table by adding ML ops engineer role also in one of the tabs. That is enough. Okay, later. in the Excel sheet. Later you copy in a separate tab the roles and responsibilities. So all the roles are included except okay, MLOps engineer also it is there, right?
Says MLOps.
Okay, okay. So total how many roles? One, two, three, four. Total you count it,
9, sir.
including a ethics specialist, right? Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So you focus in your demos in future the same pattern, explaining the worksheet and in your PPT also. Let us follow that standard. Let the people who are watchers in any company, they will understand, okay, well, these are the roles related to these activities. You have planned it in your solution demo. Then these roles people are responsible for these things. But in your case, what happens? You have done all the activities as a single person and you can explore all these activities. You have the capabilities of handling them. That's where the demo outcome it comes when you are explaining all these things by including in the demo, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
So the same roles uh, I kept
You
in
know the
the roles.
outcome of adding all these responsibilities roles. You are demonstrating all the activities doing in the POC or demos. It means you have the capability of playing the multi-skilled roles. Either you take data scientist, you take BA, you take data engineer, you take ML ops engineer, you take any other role, including AI ethics. In a small company, you can play multi-role play in a ML model design activity. Okay, and including talking to the users also with BA activities. BA plans the project right from users perspective.
Yes, sir.
So you have planned it and you have done it and you are giving a final solution demo after arriving with particular solution. So in that solution, you are presenting all these things. Now what you are going to do, you are next in the next technical setup demo, you are going to do technical setup and you are proving all these tasks are performed well with Python script. And another thing, you're not doing these activities for live projects. In live projects, it is separate. In live projects, they will have IT governance. According to IT governance, you need to follow that policies and procedures in every company. Each company has their own setup, their own policies and procedures. That all comes under AI ethics also in future, but very few people are following the AI ethics. So now you are doing as an independent ML professional to demonstrate your skills and in a overall setup, how you can perform it like that you are showing it. That's the reason you have created your own test data. You have traveled it as per the planned tasks activities up to eighth activity. So that is also another identity you are providing to them. Yes, I can handle any kind of activity. In small projects, what happens? There will be less budget. With less budget, they wanted to handle with one single person only. Okay, so in such case, what happens? They will hire this kind of skilled people also by paying higher salary. It means you are denoting you are capable of doing all these things, and you don't need to bargain for the salary also because you're proven demonstrated all these activities with different multi-skilled activities. So they'll ask how much you are expecting. I'm expecting X amount. Simple. Single call will close all the things. That's where it happened in the past for many people have coached by me. Okay. So the more you guys explore in the demos with the roles perspective, tasks perspective, activities perspective, and also tracking the input data, output data for every Python script and how the data is traveled it. If you're able to pull some Python scripts specifications also in the next demo in a PPT, That will give full clarity, because there you are going to draw the flow chart with mermaid. You copy that flow chart. Okay, then with that flow chart you are going to explain the series of the programs or particular activity or task flow, how the data is flowing from top to bottom by doing lot of internal processes, verifications, validations, all those things. So there also it is explained by you. You are a hardcore developer and designer also.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
रवि आपको समझा रहा ना?
Yes, yes, understood, sir.
Yes. Okay. So you are going to follow the same standard for your demos also. We let us follow the standards for demos. Okay. Yeah. Please continue.
Yes, sir. We discussed almost everything.
Is it done now completely with the Excel
Yes,
sheet
sir. Yeah.
also?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll stop recording now. So basically, in the beginning, how you are going to introduce it? I am working as independent ML professional to design myself some of the POCs to present in my profile, and this is the example. So in this activity, in this demo, I have performed multiple tasks for multiple roles, which I am going to cover in this demo. You explain it. When you open the Excel sheet, automatically you are showing the roles related to that particular activity, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Rahul, you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
okay.
I designed one model yesterday.
Hold on, we'll talk about that separately. Let us stop the recording.
Okay.
Uh,